Yeah. So Kyle and I are going to end the show with this. We are in a bunch of our friends and I kind of started a couple years ago. We're coming up on 2 years of doing it now, which is pretty cool because everybody still seems to be loving doing it.
Yeah.
But we just do our own little movie club, book club movie style, where we get together on a Zoom call every 2 weeks, get 2 weeks to watch a movie, watch 2 movies a month. It's awesome. Everybody gets to rotate and pick. We do a little Oscars. It's a good time. And one of the movies that I happened to pick was Spirited Away. And we don't talk about these great movies enough on our channel. I don't know if we've ever actually reviewed one on our channel. Maybe we have, and I just don't remember.
You must
But
have
I
done it
thought
with
it'd be
your
great
name.
to yeah, I think we did it with your name, or I've done like a Demon Slayer movie or something like that, or I've done a show, but we haven't done any of the Miyazaki movies. So I thought we would just maybe do a quick little review here. This movie's been out forever, so spoilers are welcome. Let's just chat about it, talk about whatever we want, whether it's positive or negative, and I'll just start, Kyle, with you here. But what I showed you Spirited Away in college, and now
Mm-hmm.
this is the second time you've watched it. It's a movie that I don't watch enough. I need to be watching that annually. But what do you think about Spirited Away and Miyazaki? Because that was your introduction to Miyazaki, correct? Was when we showed you the first Spirited Away?
No, my introduction was with Kiki's Delivery Service. Actually, I just didn't know the
Ooh.
name Miyazaki. I was pretty young, and I didn't grow up in
Yeah.
like the anime circles. So, but I just saw it with my family, and
Did you
it was
like
very
Kiki?
enjoyable. Oh yeah, yeah.
Elite.
It was it's probably like the most easygoing watching of the Miyazaki movies. You know what I
That
mean?
or
Like it's the
Totoro, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Totoro's rated G. I could show it to the kids in my class because I'm allowed to show any G-rated movie. I just rewatched it yesterday because I've decided I'm going to watch all the Miyazaki movies after watching Spirited Away, and I was like, I could 100% show this to my kids. Like,
it's
this is
probably
so
more.
beautiful. It's loving. It's got a better story. There's nothing inappropriate. It's awesome. It's so good.
Yeah, it's just so funny that most kids movies now are like PG rated and you're like, Why? Where is
It's
the
true.
why does a parent need to be in here?" So, just how weird that times have changed. But with this time around with watching
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away, I was kind of noticing more of the tone and the feelings I was getting, because the first time I watched it, I think I was paying more attention to like the animation of it, and obviously it's just beautiful animation, a really terrific
Beautiful.
blend of early developments of CG with like beautiful hand drawn and hand stylings and animation. But I was noticing more of the tone this time around with the movie. Maybe tone's not the right word, but right from the get go with this movie, you're feeling the emotions that the young girl Chihiro, right? That's how you pronounce
Chihiro,
it.
yep.
Chihiro, thank you.
Or Sen. She gets a new name.
Yeah, that's true. Could call her Sin as well, but right
Sen,
away
not
you
Sin.
always feel what she's feeling throughout the whole movie. Like in the first opening act, where we see her in the car and you can tell she's uncomfortable about the situation of moving to a new town, and she's like tired of sitting in the car. Like she doesn't want to be going to like a new school, doesn't like the new town, even though she hasn't explored it yet. Like you really get set into knowing the situation that she's in, and you also feel like a uncomfortableness about the situation yourself. Like you're transported back to when you were younger and would be in a similar situation. But once the movie gets going, like it still works to where you're feeling all of the whether they're rational or even unrational at times, her emotions throughout the movie. And I really like that, the getting to really notice that while watching that this anime movie was making me feel feel so much for the character, whether I didn't like her or like her enough in some moments. It's not a character that's 100% likable. There's times to where she probably can get on one's nerves, but you're still rooting for her
You just
and
don't
wanting
like
to.
kids. Stop.
We know what
She's
you're trying to
adorable in
say,
every way. She's awesome.
but I just really like that. Despite not fully liking the character, I still was able to be in her position and feel the same ways that she was feeling. Like every step along the way of her journey made the most sense to me, and that's really what stuck out to me with was with its tone and the emotions that were able to carry through without like having to explain it to me. Like through visuals and through great animation, it was able to accomplish those.
Yeah, for me, this movie's a 10 out of 10. Um, I think the story is simple. It's a girl trying to save her parents. Excuse me, Mr. Max. My cat is being loud if you hear meows. He's
Hmm.
being needy. But I it's not a Little Mermaid romance, you know what I mean? And when we were doing our club and we were talking about the movie, I'd done a ton of research, and I know that Miyazaki made this to try to give more of a real and relatable hero to the kind of 10-year-old girl audience at the time. And because
Hmm.
the biggest movie around that same era was like The Little Mermaid or those Disney movies, and it was always so romance centered. And she's not in love with Haku because he's a cute boy. She's in love with Haku because he's the river spirit that saved her. He loves her in more of a platonic way, is always how I viewed it, than
Mm, okay.
necessarily romance. Um, and I just, the second the movie starts, it's them in the car, and immediately it's the call to action. Within the first 10 minutes, she gets called for the hero's journey, and she doesn't necessarily answer it at first. She kind of just gets thrust into it and being told what to do until she starts taking her own action. And I love the story. What as soon as they cross over into the world, and they cross through the passage, and they see all these old ruins of what the new times have done to the past, which is a thing Miyazaki's huge on, about that we need to not forget. And that's what this movie says. It's saying, hey, don't forget the past, treat it with respect, love it,
Hmm.
but you can move forward. You don't need to be stuck in the old ways, but you don't need to force the new ways. You don't need to forget us and forget these spirits. And that's even more so with the river spirit that she cleans in the bathhouse, that they all kind of mock her, and she has to be the one to do it because nobody else wants to do it. And then what she ends up doing is releasing this very powerful spirit who gives her a gift that then she's able to use later. It's just, the second the movie starts, you can't look away, because
Yeah.
you're thrown in and being like, oh, I've been a kid in the back seat annoyed at mom and dad. I've moved, I
Mm.
feel that. And then you're like, oh, where are they headed? They're taking a little detour, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, wow, where's all this food coming from? And then boom, oh my gosh, they're pigs. And then you are with her on the journey of how is this going to work? Like when she talks about forgetting her name, how she can't forget it and she needs to remember her name. Um, like to me at that moment, I'm feeling nervous for her throughout the movie. Then I'm sitting there going, "Don't forget your name. Keep on remembering your parents." Like they show, she has to remember her parents as pigs, and when you look at it, like as an audience member, I'm like, I don't know which pigs are her parents, but she
Hmm.
does, and I think it's so well crafted. It's almost completely hand drawn animation. There are some shots of CG
Hmm.
using miniatures, paintings, things like that. But I mean, the hand drawn looks incredible. I mean, the movie is it's just beautiful. I still to this day think there is not a better, more beautiful animated movie I've ever seen. I don't think anything has super come close. I think the last time I remember having my jaw kind of open, thinking, "Oh, this reminds me of Spirited Away" in terms of the beauty of the animation, was Into the Spider Verse. Like I just think of that shot where he jumps off the tower and he's flipping backwards, falling, and
Hmm.
then they show the wide shot. Like that to me is a painting too. Um, Even some other older Miyazaki movies I don't think hold up as well. I watched this on my big TV. I have it on DVD and I got it in 4K or whatever in this new kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
updated version, and it's just beautiful. Like that's how it was meant to be seen. I just love this movie so much. I truly don't have a critique. Like the movie is, there's not a frame I think is bad. There's nothing I think is wrong. There's no nitpick. I think every character rocks it. I think the voice actors rock it. I think the story, the visuals, the script, the direction, everything is just absolutely beautiful and well done. You got other thoughts here, my guy?
No.
Wow.
Not really. I think you explained yourself pretty well. I just like that this movie, and other Miyazaki movies as well, they don't shy away from going full 100 on weird concepts, or I guess I should say like weird world building concepts, but still take matter about the story and about the characters.
Yeah,
And
it's
these
character
movies are
driven.
yeah, these movies are just really good lessons of storytelling and of art, in my opinion. So
They're
yeah,
important
Spirit
lessons too, I think, for kids of that age, because
of
there's
all
not
ages,
a
really.
lot of, well, yes, but I just think of um like when you, I love The Little Mermaid. Ponyo is the better version of it, but I love The Little Mermaid. But it it is very much um a a romance story, and we're here to
Yeah.
get the prince and the boy, kiss the girl, all that stuff. Where Spirited Away is saying any 10-year-old could go on this journey. Any 10-year-old could stumble into a world that we don't even know, to the point where it even becomes, I think, at times an allegory for that kids' imaginations are crazy. I was just
Mm.
watching another one of his movies, for which for some reason I'm blanking on the name, which is just absolutely shocking. Uh, but I watched Totoro yesterday, and Totoro's very like that. There's a whole scene of I met a Totoro, I met a troll, and dad's like, oh sure. They kind of laugh about it for a second, and then the dad recognizes, and I think it's very Miyazaki esque of what he had the dad do. Is he's like, we know you saw it. And he does the very adult thing. He's like, yeah, we believe you. We know you saw it. It was just a spirit, and they only show you when they want to be seen. And that's true. And there's so many scenes in this movie that are just so good. I just love it, from the spider to the dust mites making another appearance. They're in Totoro as well.
Hmm.
Like, I love when the baby gets turned into the mouse and everything like that. I think they're so funny. I think the way she's able to win the day and turn the narrative around her differently, and it's beautifully done. It is a 10 out of 10 movie. I'm so glad I rewatched it. I have to make this a yearly thing from now on, because it's been a few years. The last time I saw it, I was in the movie theater because they did their Ghibli Fest. They tend to,
Mm.
most theaters do it in October, and I went and saw Mononoke a couple years back, probably 5 years ago, and Spirited Away I was able to go see about 5 years ago. I haven't gotten a chance to go since, but like in the movie theater, you're just blown away by how beautiful it looks. Even more so, I got a pretty big TV, and even more, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
He is a master for a reason. He's a little bit of an arrogant guy, from what interviews and reports have said, and he can be very controlling. But I think when it comes down to his storytelling, I think he there's maybe not a guy who does it better. And I actually had this thought the other day, because I was thinking about when you sent me the podcast notes. I went for a little bike ride today. I was actually thinking about it today, not the other day. And I was thinking about when we talked about who would we want to see direct a Star Wars movie, and we talked about Alfonso Cuarón and things like that, and Steven Spielberg. And then I just started thinking today, I was like, I think now my number one choice would be a Miyazaki animated full-fledged Star Wars movie. After seeing Visions and how incredible Star Wars Visions is, I was like, that would be insane. The worlds he would craft within Star Wars would just be incredible. And that's now the top of my list. He's apparently working on a movie right now. He unretired again. I'm going to look it up here before we wrap this show up. But how old is he now? Man,
He's probably up there, I'm certain.
oh, I mean, he was born in 1941, Kyle. Do some math. What are we
Math
in,
is hard.
2022?
2022. A lot of years, man.
He's
That's a heck of a
81.
life,
Actually,
though.
he's a little younger than I thought. I thought he was pushing 90. He's 81. Um, he is set. He did a short called Boro the Caterpillar after the Wind Rises, which was his last directorial movie in 2013. Ponyo in 2008. Howl's Moving Castle in 2004. Spirited Away then in 2001, Mononoke in 97, but he has one upcoming directorial project, and it says How Do You Live is what apparently the name of it is. There's even a little image of it. Kind of, I don't know if it'll light adjust there. Probably
Not
not.
even a
Brutal.
little.
I'll have to send that to you because that is a cool looking image. And I wonder if because it's very pencil drawn. And I wonder if that's going to be the actual style instead of
Hopefully.
actually doing, not that he's drawing it in pencil, but that the animation looks like
Yeah.
it's a pencil, like a paper book come to life.
Yeah.
He wrote the screenplay. Apparently he's working on it. It's expected to come out in 2026. Wow. Apparently, it's
That's
supposed to
terrific
be
time.
the film depicts the psychological growth of a teenage boy through interactions with his friends and uncle. Huh, all right, Miyazaki. Um, there's one more thing I wanted to say about this before we wrap this up, but I can't remember. Um,
Bummer.
him doing Star Wars would be incredible, but he's a master. I might need to put him in my Mount Rushmore directors because we don't think about him, I think, enough in that terms when we talk about who are the best of the best.
Or
But
animation in general, you know.
it's
Like
true.
it keeps being thought of as like a genre when
It's
it
not.
probably shouldn't be,
No,
you
it's
know.
just film.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, what do you think of everything? Comment below. Let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. Check out all the clip outs on YouTube, all that stuff. Thank you, Moon Meal patrons. Go get some merch. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.